What is going on, everyone? On today's show, we've got a much more consistent schedule incoming where we can finally set what we're doing each day this week after the chaos that was yesterday. Plus, we've got updates on all the games that I played yesterday, including a shockingly interesting indie game that I'd never heard of before, but ended up being a really awesome late night chill stream. Today, much laid back fun, lots of interaction and chill hangout style sessions of vibe. Not too much crazy stuff to cover, which is always a good thing. So get ready to enjoy the waves of the beach as we jump back into Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii and a very relaxing episode of the Level 1 podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Alrighty, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. Today is Monday, the 3rd of March, 2025, and it is time to relax. That is right. No crazy drama today, thankfully. Instead, just a good opportunity to get caught up on everything that's been going on, to talk about the schedule and the like. It's going to be a good one. All right, I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. And we're about to have a good time. I was wondering what this was. It's my camera. Yeah, so here's the deal of what's going on with this camera, okay? I'm going to probably try to get it out of the shot right now. Basically, this new camera, which I'm going to use for the top-down camera, okay? There is no real way to get this camera consistently in a spot where I don't have to keep moving it. What do I mean by that? As you can see in the camera in the upper right-hand corner here, it's basically along the same area as my boom arm, right? So we're going to be using this camera for Lego nights, for DSP tries it, for unpacking of cards when we do that on various shows. It's going to be pretty cool. The problem is this camera can't really be positioned somewhere where it's not in the way, okay? So right now, as you can see, it's in the way when I go to this shot. Right? There it is. So I can move it out of the way, but then if I go back to the other shot, it's not in the right area. So really, there's not much I can do. There's no way to get it perfect. It looks like when I'm going to use the camera, it's just going to kind of have to be moved at that time. There's nowhere that I can put it that it's out of the way and out of the shot and not affecting stuff. See, so now it's out of the shot, okay? But now when I go to do this, now, when you're going for my widescreen perspective here to get the face cam for gameplay, now it's in the way. See, it's blocking my head, and that's going to be a problem. You see, and by the way, don't worry, that choppiness goes away. You saw how it was choppy there for a second. That goes away when all the cameras aren't on. It takes like maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then it stops getting choppy. See, it already stopped. So, but anyway, yeah, like I can't figure out where to put this guy that it doesn't block a shot. So it almost seems like this is a camera that if I'm going to use it, for stuff, I'm going to have to keep moving it around, which is really annoying. I don't want to have to keep moving it around, but it doesn't seem like there's really a solution to the problem. Like if I were to rotate it like this now. So now this shot is clear for gameplay. But now it's back in the shot over here. There's nowhere to put it where it's not in my way. Maybe if I scoot it down further. Good Lord. All right. Well, I think that's the best it's going to get for now. Let's take another quick look. All right. So now it's out of the way. That's good. But now, as you can see, now this shot isn't as good. But, it's not that bad. So maybe we'll go with this for now. We might just go with this for now and then figure it out later. Anyway, so yeah, the whole 3-camera setup is going to be wild. We haven't even really used it yet, but it certainly will look interesting when we finally start using it for something. Which we're going to talk about in a moment, because now we have the next Lego stream in the schedule. All right. Now, some people have already said, what's your RGB setup for today? It's supposed to simulate flowing water like, a tide coming in and out. Because today we are playing Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii here on the first stream, which I'm really excited for because guess what? We're finally into the real game. Yes, after over a crazy amount of, intro, we are finally into the real game. Why these Japanese games tend to have 7+ hour intros these days, I have no idea. But at least we're there. And now we can enjoy the main game starting today. We're in Hawaii. We're in the mainland. We're going to do the first major story mission like right now when we start playing today. So I'm excited for that. So, good stuff, right? And I'm excited for everything today. Today's actually an interesting day where we're going to be wrapping up finally, if you can believe it. Get ready for this. Lost Records. Oh, that's right. Lost Records, which basically I thought was going to be similar to Life is Strange. I don't think I could have been any further from the truth, right? Basically, the way that it's close to Life is Strange is that it's basically a bunch of teen angsty stuff, right? Which is super annoying. No one cares about teen angst. We want something exciting, something unique. So, and we really haven't gotten that. I mean, we've been playing, no exaggeration, 7+ hours in this game. And I'd say there's been about 30 minutes of actual action. It's just been a bunch of girls walking around a forest, wasting time with a shitty garage band, just nothing of any good stuff. And then last episode, they're doing like blood rituals and wishing curses on people and wanting vengeance. I'm like, wow, this is a really good game for your teenage daughter to play, to learn that this is the kind of stuff that you should be doing, right, when you're a kid. Anyway, yeah, I want to see how it ends, and we're at a point where this is the end of the game. Like, people are saying there's probably another hour to 90 minutes tops left, and this is when everything happens. And people who've beaten it are like, yeah, it's basically going to go crazy. It's going to go, like, wild at the end, because, but why it takes 7 hours to get anything interesting is pretty stupid. Like, some really bad pacing. But that'll be our late stream tonight, so I hope you'll join me for that tonight on the late shift, so that we can wrap it up. And then we can move on to other stuff, okay? So today's games are going to be pretty fun. I think the first stream will be lots of chill interaction, hanging out, having a good time in Hawaii, and getting into the meat of Pirate Yakuza. And then tonight, finishing up Lost Records so we can move on to other better stuff. It's going to be a pretty solid day, and I'm excited for it, okay? But before we get to all of that, obviously I want to recap how everything went yesterday. And then I want to talk about our goals and where we are with those and all of that. So let's do all that first before we jump into a gameplay day. So, yesterday, we had 2 games that are kind of, one is completely up in the air if we're going to keep playing it, and the other, we didn't even know what we were doing. So, yesterday was a very inconsistent day, and so people were like, I wonder what Phil's going to do. The first stream, we played more Avowed, okay? Now, I'm currently, I want to say 7 parts in to Avowed. Where the hell are the parts? Part 8. Yeah, we're 8 parts into Avowed, but actually, if you look at the time that I've played it, we're around 10 hours into the game, okay? And overall, every single time that I play Avowed, people come to the stream and ask me exactly the same questions. The questions are as follows. Is this game good? Is this game woke? Is this game boring? Okay? So, let's go through the 3 questions. Is the game good? Well, the thing is, I played it for 10 hours, and in the 10 hours I've played it, I did the intro, which is about an hour, and then I focused on the story for maybe 20 minutes. Since then, I explored the open world of the game, including the entire left-hand side of the map, a couple optional dungeons, and then I crossed this bridge, and I started exploring the northern part of the map and this cave system, and then we went last time to all around the outskirts of the city of Paradise, including like a docked like Wharf Town, and then the Shanty Town, which is supposed to be like the poor part of town. And then we went into this cave full of spiders, and we did all this stuff. And if you're just focusing on that, okay? Meaning, if you really like open world adventure games like Elder Scrolls, okay? This game is actually good. Okay? And I know some people are going to be shocked. What the hell? Phil's saying that's good. Yes. If you like that style of open world fantasy RPG, exploration, discovery, the game is actually good. The problem is, most people have only heard people talking online about certain aspects of the game, including the main storyline and apparently the fact that the game is woke. Now, let's get to the next two parts of the question, right? Is the game woke? I don't know. I'm over 10 hours into Avowed, and I haven't seen a single person or a single thing in the game that would indicate that to me, except maybe that the main character is covered in like fungus, which is more like The Last of Us than anything else. And I guess you could argue The Last of Us is woke, right? So outside of that, like, has there been anything in the plot, anything that's really pushed me in that direction? No, not really at all. So, but then again, I'm not focusing on the plot. I'm just open world exploring, right? So maybe that's why I haven't run into anything. I don't know, right? And of course, let's be honest. I think everyone has a different definition at this point of what woke means. To some, it would be pushing this leftist, very liberal ideology down your throat. To others, it would be like, oh, if there's even a character that's gay in the game, that's woke now. It's like, well, I don't know about that. So, so I can't really answer the question because I haven't really seen it. Okay, is the game boring? Which is the third question. This is one that I feel like I can't answer. Like, the first question is, yes, if you're focused on the open world, you'll have fun with it. I can't answer if it's woke because I haven't encountered it yet, so I guess my answer is no. But is the game boring? Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are essentially saying the thing that's bad about the game is the storyline. That if once you get into the main meat of the game, which is it with an RPG, it's going to be the story, right? That really there's nothing too original or interesting in it, that it doesn't really hook you, that it ends up kind of being blah, and it's not very satisfying. Now, that's a problem. If you're enjoying open world exploration and fun, and you really like that about a game, but then you go to the meat of the game, the core storyline, and it sucks, that's bad. In fact, I would argue, damn, maybe they should have put that effort of their open world gameplay towards a different game, right? Like, they did this engine that they're using and everything, and I like it. Like, it feels like kind of an evolution of Elder Scrolls, what they've done. There's so many ways to play the game. You dual wield, magic, guns, sword and shield with parrying. So there's like a ton of ways to play through this game, right? And I am enjoying the combat, and I am enjoying that aspect of it. But if when I start the story, this game sucks, I don't know if I'm going to keep playing it, It's funny because yesterday, again, we played another 2.5 hours or so. And here's exactly what happens. People show up for my podcast. We hang out. We have a great time. Then I start with the game. And immediately half the crowd goes, oh, it's that game. It's that game that the entire internet panned that everyone says is woke and terrible. I'm out of here. Okay? So I lose half my audience the moment I boot the game. It's not necessarily anything in the game that's doing that. It's that there is this group consensus on the internet that the game is bad. And therefore, when I play the game, even if what I'm doing in the game isn't bad, they don't care and these people leave. And there's nothing I can really do about that. When you have a internet mentality or consensus about something, it's very hard to sway people's opinions, right? And by the way, I'm not trying to sway people's opinions. I'm just telling you this is my experience with the game so far, is that, the things that people are complaining about, I haven't encountered in the game yet, right? But immediately, when I go to boot the game, I lose half the audience. Shit. Now, for the half that stayed, we actually had a good chill time. We had a lot of conversation. We had it was a hangout session, essentially, while I was also doing this open world exploration or whatever. And people also liked the new green screen / background removal effect where my chair doesn't show up anymore. So I think a lot of people were like tuning into the stream and they're like doing double takes. Like, what was that? Like, he doesn't have the chair screwing up anymore in the background, which was nice. But what ended up happening was a lot of the support that I got yesterday came in during the podcast. And then as I started the game, there was some support, but then everyone left. So we were stuck at like $100 of support the whole stream. And then it was like the last 20 minutes, and I was like, guys, we've been at $100 now for like, 2.5 hours, and the stream's gonna end. And then we had like one or two other people who came in. We didn't hit the goal. It was like $110, and that was it. Now, I'm not saying that that's bad, by the way, at all. I'm just saying the goal is 150, and we didn't hit it. And I feel like if I wasn't playing Avowed, we would have. Like if a few other people had stuck around, we had one sub on Kick the entire stream. One sub. So the entire Kick audience turned off and basically left, right? And that's sad, but it is what it is, right? So, I had a good time, and I told everyone I'm going to play it again. I am. Now, when? I don't know. Because when I turn on the game and I lose half my audience immediately, it kind of makes me not want to play it more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the game, at least the open world aspect and the exploration and all that. I'm having a good time with it, but I'm not really enticed to play it again when everyone has this vibe about the game. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, the internet says it sucks. The internet says it's woke. The internet says it's boring. So, why am I going to rush to play it again? And in fact, you're going to see in the schedule this week, I don't even have it in there because I don't even know if I should play or what I should do with this game. So I guess we'll see. We'll talk about it in a moment. All right. Last night was indie night. And what I mean by that is people have been asking for new indie games in the rotation for a while. Since the beginning of the year, we've played a good amount of them that have all kind of worked out. Games like Balatro and the Coin Game. And then we jumped into Mouthwashing, which was a completely unique kind of game, right? Killer Frequency. So we've had maybe 4 or 5 indie games that I've played since the year began that have all worked out, and people have liked the indie nights, okay? I think the best part about indie nights is that these are games that are not insane time sinks. You can play them and beat them within a few hours to maybe a couple streams, and therefore we're not stuck playing the game for 2 months. But it's still a unique experience that's fun, and it resonates, and sometimes, it ends up being a really nice experience. And that's basically what happened last night. Last night, everyone joined, and I said, I'm not sure what we should do. And people started tossing games at me. They were like, hey, what about Buckshot Roulette? What about Poppy's Playtime, which the first one is free? What about this unique game, Missing Hiker, that's free? What about a game about digging a hole? What about, there's another one too. There's like 5 or 6 games that people all suggested. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I started basically just getting them and adding them to Steam. And I was looking at the list, and I was like, what's the most unique one out of all of these? Probably this one, a game about digging a hole. Let's see what this is. So I started playing it, and basically what it is, it's the digging portion of Minecraft, meaning you're digging down into the ground, you're gathering ore, you're using that ore to sell and make money to upgrade all your equipment, including the shovel, the battery that powers the shovel, the jetpack that shoots you out of the cavern, because you can't really climb in this game. You have to use a jetpack, or your inventory so you can hold more ore. And as you keep digging, you find more and more interesting things down there, unique kinds of rock, secret little compartments that have treasure in them and stuff like that. And you're using these indicators to find rare things in the area. It's actually quite good. Basically, as we did it, I hung out with the audience and had conversation, and that's why it worked. It was a social stream while it also was an indie game stream. And so I played it for around 2 hours, and we're almost done. We're near the end. I actually have maximum upgraded both my shovel and my battery. I just got to do the jetpack and the inventory, and then we're basically we're going to go down to the end, I guess, and probably another hour, and we're going to beat it. So we're this close, and it was great streaming. I don't think people actually expected it to go well, but it ended up being really good. We hit the goal and exceeded it. Like, we actually went above the goal. Did we double the goal? No, we didn't. But we did hit a goal, and we exceeded it. It went really well in that regard, okay? So, yeah, I had a good time. It was a really great indie stream, and it was so good. It was so fun that I decided I'm going to play it again later in the week. We'll do a second indies night where we'll finish that, and then we'll start something else, okay? So, overall yesterday, I had a really chill time all day. Avowed was actually open world chill fun. Had a great time with the audience while we hung out, for those who stuck around. And then on the late stream, we did hit a goal, and also had a great time with a game about digging a hole. So, there you go. Now, where are we at for the week? Let's talk about the schedule, the goals, and all of that, shall we? We are at 36 out of 40 goals attained. When we attain 40 goals, it is time for a radical pizza party, dudes, because on that day when we hit the 40th goal, I'm going to play Call of Duty Black Ops 6. We're going to do the Ninja Turtles event. I'm going to unlock the nunchucks from Michelangelo and use them in combat, which is going to be really fun. And we're going to have a pizza party. And we've been talking about this all week. We got to figure out what kind of pizza party. Are we going to do Domino's, Pizza Hut, or Papa John's? All right? Are you ready for this? I'm going to eliminate another pizza right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I am eliminating Pizza Hut. I've eliminated Pizza Hut. So it's going to be a choice between Domino's and Papa John's, all right? Two unique places, all right? One of them, probably the longest running one in America, Domino's. I remember that ever since I was a kid, they were the big fast food delivery pizza place. They do various different kinds of pizza, like the hand-tossed style, the New York style, the thin crust style, and they have various appetizers. So if we get Domino's, I'll probably get a regular pizza, a specialty pizza, and an appetizer. If I get Papa John's, I'll probably end up getting like a stuffed crust, a regular crust, and then an appetizer, okay? So this is going to be fun. And you might say, well, when is this going to be? Because we want to know when to be there for the Call of Duty Ninja Turtle event with Pizza Party. I don't know. I would like to tell you exactly when it's going to be, but I don't know simply because it depends on when we hit our goals. If we hit a goal every stream moving forward this week, then there'll be 2 goals hit today, 2 goals hit tomorrow, and we're doing the pizza party on Wednesday. Okay? But if we don't hit a goal every stream, then that means it could take longer. It could be Thursday. It could be Friday. All right? And there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not controlling that. It's basically you guys. All right? So the sooner you want to see me unlock the nunchucks and go crazy in Call of Duty, and the sooner that you want this fun pizza party to happen with the special DSP tries it, trying out all these products with the new top-down camera to show off the food in HD, extreme close-up, and all of that, okay? So whenever you want this stuff to happen, all right, let's get it going with support. It's that simple, okay? So the sooner the better. Let's hit some goals, all right? So that being said, let's rally and start getting some support right now. I actually did get my first tip of the day. $3 tip from Flatman B, who says, what's up, everyone? I hope everyone has a nice day. God bless and peace. Thank you to Flatman for the very first contribution of the day. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Awesome. Oh, by the way, that's right. This font I'm using today, I can't use a dollar sign. Because the font, for some reason, says Sonic the Hedgehog when I use a dollar sign. Very bizarre. So there we go. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, Perry the White has returned. We haven't seen Perry in a bit. Welcome back, Perry. And Perry just gifted 5 subs over on Kick. Thank you so very much, Perry, for a 5-sub bomb over on Kick. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Thank you, sir. He says, I'm back, baby. Welcome back, Perry. Awesome. A great start to the day. So that counts for $25 of support. So we're up to 28 and climbing. Thank you so very much, Perry. Now, there is one thing that I want to address. And in truth, this is funny because you're going to notice something I'm about to bring up. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed this, you may not have. When we're hitting goals, I'm no longer doing treats out of a treat box as a celebration. We're not doing it anymore. All right? And you might, just for the first time, you might have realized, I'd be like, oh, yeah, we actually hit some goals and Phil hasn't been eating any of those Turkish treats out of the treats box. I wonder why not or what's going on with that. It's very simple. There's 2 reasons why we're not doing it. Okay, reason number 1 is because I'm not a big snacker. I'm just not. Like, to be honest with all of you, I usually don't have treats or candy in the house. It's been a rarity that I've had it because I've had these treat boxes. Like, that's the candy that I've had in the house recently. But I don't think about sweets. I don't think about snacks. I just don't, at all. The idea that we had back in January of getting the Sakura box, right? And tasting some of these treats and things, it was fun, but but it didn't really work. Remember, we were originally going to do the Sakura box, which is Japanese snacks, as a DSP tries it. We tried to do it, and basically people were like, that's a shitty idea. We don't like it. So then I said, well, we'll use that box as a way to do these little rewards when we hit goals and stuff. But no one really cared. To be frank, no one really gave a crap. It was very few people who ever even brought it up. And I had noticed over the past couple of weeks, as we were hitting our goals, no one was mentioning this at all or really caring. Then every once in a while, someone would remember and be like, oh, yeah, don't you owe us like 3 or 4 treats? And I was like, how am I going to eat 3 or 4 candy bars, cookies? I can't do that. I'm in my 40s. I can't sit around eating junk food all day. It's not good for me. And the truth is, I don't eat junk food. Like, I don't eat it. So because of that, it doesn't really make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, to have this in the rotation, it was cool for an idea, but since it didn't really motivate anyone to care about, I'm going to contribute to see a treat or whatever, and since no one was asking for it as a reward regardless, it didn't make sense. So basically, I kind of forgot about it for a while. And then all of a sudden, no one talked about it or asked for it, and I was like, I guess it doesn't really matter. So just so everyone knows, I do still have it. And every once in a while, just on a whim, if I feel like pulling out a treat here and doing something, I will, because there's a ton of stuff in this box, but I'm just not going to be having it be a reward anymore because no one cared. Plus, I don't eat snacks anyway, so it was abnormal for me to have to keep eating snacks, okay? All right, so that's that. So now you guys know what's going on with that, so I clarified it. By the way, Perry the White gifted another sub over on Kick. Thank you so much, Perry. That's 6 now. So that gets us up to 33 in support. And then, first super chat of the day just came in from Divine Tiger 97. $5 says, give me love and affection, DSP. Absolutely not. I do not give love and affection to my viewers. How dare you? Everyone knows I absolutely hate all of my viewers, right? I'm a heinous villain. Remember, I'm heinous villain Phil. That's the whole idea. I'm heinous villain Phil, and everyone hates me. So I don't understand, what you're coming at me the wrong way. Right? That's the wrong angle. What were you thinking? What's going on, Jade? Good morning. Okay. So anyway, now we're at 38 of support and climbing. So thank you so much to Perry over on Kick. And thank you for the tip, Flatman B. And thank you for the super chat, Divine Tiger. So we're sprinting it around a little bit, but we don't have any memberships yet. Who will be the first person to become a member or gift some memberships to the community? Let's find out, okay? Thank you guys so much in advance for your support today. Definitely let's hit the goal. We already got a great head start and the whole podcast ahead of us. Let's hit the goal today and get to 37 and climbing, right? Let's keep climbing. Let's get closer to the pizza party. I can't wait to lock it in and be like, we're doing the pizza party. It's going to be fun. Okay. That's right. You can't even look at me right now because I'm such an evil villain. Exactly. I'm such a heinous individual. Everything I do just exudes toxicity and negativity, and you can't stand to look at me for a second. I know. Okay. So now let's look at the schedule for the week, because now I actually have locked it in at least to the as much as I can, because I don't know exactly when the pizza party is going to be. Okay. But here we go. So, whoops, get rid of that wide angle. So, here is the schedule for the week. Today, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, now heading into the actual real game. Okay? Tonight, Lost Records Tape 1 will conclude. Thankfully, it's about dang time, right? Tomorrow, unless we hit 4 goals today, which I'm not foreseeing happening. I don't think we're going to be hitting 4 goals today, to be honest with you, okay? Tomorrow, we're going to do some fighting games, all right? It's probably my only fighting games of the week. I'm not sure. We may do Friday Night Fights or not. But basically, we're going to either do Street Fighter 6 or Marvel Collection. Now, I'm not sure what I want to do at all, okay? I don't know if we want to do Street Fighter 6 and come back to it for the first time in ages, because we haven't played it now in a couple weeks. But when I played Marvel 2 last time, it went really well, and people really liked it. So I'm not sure what I should do. and I want to kind of get your opinions on this today. Would you prefer a return to Street Fighter 6 and go back to other characters? Maybe I'll go back to Honda now at this point or something. Or would you prefer that I play some more Marvel 2 collection, which we did last time and went really well? All right. So let's think about it. You guys let me know what you're interested in over the course of today. I'd like your feedback. And then tomorrow we're probably going to do fighting games. And then tomorrow night, yes, that's right, Tuesday, March 4th, on the late stream, it's the return of Lego Night. It'll be Succulent Plants Part 2, where we build the next 3 succulent plants. I'll be using the new triple camera setup. So now you'll see from top-down view what it's going to be like. And again, these cameras are choppy when I first turn them on, then they smooth out. Yeah, see, it was choppy, now it's smoothing out. You'll see for the first time what it's like to actually build the Lego here from this angle, which will be really neat. And you'll have multiple views to look at. It'll be beautiful. Maybe I'll even have myself transparent like this. Actually, what happens if I do this? Oh, God. Look at that. All right, this just looks weird. This looks weird. Obviously, I don't want to do that because I'm going to want to show you. I'm going to pan this camera down so that you can actually see the table from another angle. You'll see the table from 2 angles, and you'll see me up in the corner. It'll be pretty neat. Or maybe I can just get rid of the wide angle, and we could just do the 2 at once. We could do that, too, actually. So, anyway, so it'll be the first time using that camera angle. Now, the last time I did a Lego stream, it went really well. People showed up, they engaged, they supported. We hit a goal, and we built some awesome Legos that are now in my background, and I want to continue to build these. I told you guys, if we do Lego streams and they work, and they're consistently good, not just the first one like last week, but let's say they're consistently good, we have people to show up, hang out, engage, and support, I will invest more in them. I will go and we'll buy a much better Lego set together. And then we will build it together, okay? And it'll be fun. But the question is, what would it be? Would it be video game related? Would it be architecture? Would it be something else that's pop culture? Would it be, I don't know, an animal? Would it be, there's a million Legos out there. I don't even know what we would do, okay? There's so many. So we could look into it. And I'm down for that, to spending more money on Legos if the Lego streams are doing well. So let's see how this goes tomorrow night and go from there, okay? Then on Wednesday, it's going to be, hopefully, knock on wood, the pizza party, because I'm hoping that we're going to hit 4 goals. We're going to hit 2 today and 2 tomorrow, so that the first stream on Wednesday will be the Ninja Turtles pizza party, where we do Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Ninja Turtles event. I unlock the nunchucks, and we order the pizza, and we have DSP tries it right after. That'll be really fun. So I hope it works, right? Seriously, okay? Then the late stream on Wednesday will be our next Indies night, where we're going to finish up a game about digging a hole, which will probably take about an hour, and then we'll probably do another hour of a different indie game, one of the ones that I had already gotten. Maybe we'll try Poppy's Playtime or something, okay? Then on Thursday, it's going to be the premiere of the Suikoden 1 and 2 collection. This is a brand new game coming out on Thursday. They have remastered the Suikoden collection for modern audiences. Much improved graphics, remixed music, elements now to make it more modernized. I think it has a quick save. So it's going to make it feel like a modern RPG, but it's going to be a classic. I love the Suikoden series. 1 and 2 are amazing, and they tie in directly together. So I hope you guys will join me on Thursday for that. And then Thursday night, the big return stream of Smart Guys. Wrestling commentary returns to my rotation. PPP will be back from vacation, and we're going to be talking all about the Elimination Chamber, which was one of the best pay-per-view events that I have seen in a very long time for WWE. I'm very excited to talk about it because so much happened that was wild and just, let me put it this way, about time. But at the same time, finally, the hype for WrestleMania will be building, which is exciting. And I have those WWE Topps Chrome card packs to unpack. So for every goal we hit of $150, I'll probably unpack a pack of trading cards live, again, with the new wide-angle camera setting, so you can see it from top down and see what cards I'm actually unearthing right here. I'll just do it right in front of you. How cool is that, right? Okay. And then on Friday, we'll do some more Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. And then Friday night, here's the thing. It could be Friday Night Fights. Or maybe I want to play more of the Suikoden collection. Or maybe after all week, as you can see, there's no Avowed. Maybe we want to do some Avowed. So I'm kind of leaving Friday night open to do whatever we want. We could do Friday Night Fights, or we could do any of the other things that we've been enjoying. All right. So let's see how it goes over this week. But hopefully this schedule sounds good to you. It's a good variety of stuff with a new RPG coming later in the week. And I'm excited. So good stuff there. And it's going to be a nice week here in Seattle, that's for sure. And it's going to be a great week on my streams. So I hope that you will join me. Okay? Good stuff. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all I have for today. So it's this simple. What we're going to do is I'm going to open up to some Q&A for today. I don't know if we're going to do an hour of Q&A, to be frank with you. I don't know if it's really going to support that much. Let's do some Q&A because we haven't done open Q&A in a long time. And then let's see when we want to jump into Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. All right? We start off with Iron Chef Sucks, guys, who did a $2 super chat saying, "Hey, Phil, I'm here to say Iron Chef Sakai sucks." Well, there you go. Thank you so much. No drama stirring or anything like that. Thank you so very much for the $2 super chat, which takes us to $40 of support in climbing. So let's do it. Who's going to be, first of all, who's going to be our first person to give some memberships? And then who's going to get us up to 50 and higher? Let's do it. All right, cool. So if you want to talk, tag me in the chat. Let's see what you guys want to discuss today. I don't have a favorite pizza topping. Do I think we can make it to the temple today? What do you mean? The temple? What temple? Are you spoiling the game? The bottom line is I don't know anything about a temple. Have I ever had White Castle sliders? Yes, I've had them from the real White Castle. Not like, I've had both the ones from the chain restaurant, but also I had the ones that you can get at the grocery store that are frozen and you microwave or you bake. So the ones at the restaurant, okay, they are craveable. And what I mean by that is they have this unique flavor because they have this crispiness around the edge of the beef that tastes good. It's like almost like a crispy char. And also the flavor of the onions they put on top, the diced onions, tastes really, really good. So I'd agree, I think that they're great in person. But dude, the ones that they have in the refrigerator, or in the freezer at the grocery store, they're awful. They're really, really bad. They're disgusting. I've tried them and they're just like greasy as hell. They don't have that fresh cooked char flavor to them. The onions don't taste good because they're frozen. So everything about that little craveable burger is actually gross if you get the frozen type. So I would not recommend it at all. I would say you got to go to the real White Castle. The problem is there aren't a lot of White Castles. From what I know, like they always were like New York, New Jersey. But outside of that, I never really saw a White Castle. Like there was none in Connecticut where I lived. And there's none out here on the West Coast, so I can't get White Castle. That would be something I would love to do for DSP Tries It, but it doesn't exist. Okay. Shout out to Sambuca. Sambuca became a member. I think Sambuca's membership had expired, and they just renewed it, so it actually does count as a fresh membership today. So thank you so much, Sambuca. That gets us up to $43 to support this morning. Very nice. Let's see here. We have the villain re-upping his membership for 45 months at the super supporter level. And he says, crazy thing, WWE isn't going to turn top merchandise sell Cody heel. It was shocking. Well, here's the thing. All right. WWE, I hate to say it, they've basically been chasing the Hulk Hogan era forever. When Hogan was in WWE, he was always the face, right? So because he was always the face, he always sold the merch, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and he was the superhero, right? And so what they've done is they've always tried to have this kind of superhero character in their company no matter what, whether it's, a John Cena, whether it's a Jey Uso, whoever it is, right? So that's kind of a problem because then what happens is it gets stale. And when it gets stale and you try to change it, well, wait a minute. You've positioned that person to be your superhero. So because of that, now what are you going to do? If you turn them heel, now you lose that feel, that vibe that you always have someone who's standing up for the right thing that the kids should look up to, and let's be honest, who sells merch. So, anyway, let's go ahead and talk about that on Smart Guys later in the week. I don't want to go too in-depth in it. I have a lot to say about the whole Cena deal right now because this is something I talked about over a decade ago on the old Smart Guys, and I need to bring that theme back because here it is remarkably over a decade later and things are coming to fruition, okay? Okay, cool. Let's see here. Harry says, do you remember a favorite character from Suikoden 1? I can't wait for the remaster. To be honest, I played Suikoden 1 3 times in the 90s. I owned it. And the first time I played it, it was an honest run through. The second time I played it, I used a guide and I got all 108 characters. And then the third time was like years later where I just wanted to play it one more time because I remembered I really liked it. And I know I had favorite characters. Like I remember certain characters are like great in combat. The thing is, some of the characters that are the best in combat in the game don't really have much of a story. They're just kind of like a side character that's just there for like a supplementary thing to help your group or whatever. But they don't really have a major story, yet they're like amazing in combat. So I don't remember off the top of my head who any of them are because it's been too long. I mean, literally, I haven't played the game in 20 years. But I just remember fond memories. And you know what? The music, dude, the theme song. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, that theme song is so effing good. And we're going to be doing the battles, remember the big battles you do on the battlefield where it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors? Dude, this is going to be fun as shit as long as people will actually show up for it. But I'm so psyched for Suikoden this week. I really am. Yes, King Ferbs. This is just a decoration. It's a replica microphone. It's brand new for this month, and I'll be bringing it into the setup every once in a while. So, let's see here. Really? Perry says it's actually his favorite game? That's awesome. It's awesome to have a kindred spirit out there that actually likes the games that I grew up liking because every time I come on here and I'm like, yeah, Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 4 and 6, and Suikoden, and Wild Hearts. And I start mentioning these games, and people are like, tune out. This guy's too old. Like, damn, I keep forgetting that usually my audience is much younger than me. I forget that. I grew up in a different era than all of you, mostly. So, but yeah, it's awesome that some people will hopefully come and enjoy the playthrough. Okay. When is it happening? It starts Thursday. The Suikoden Collection is releasing on Thursday. Okay. All righty then. Do I feel like the bar for RPGs has risen? In my opinion, that's why Avowed feels so mid to most. It doesn't feel like a $70 game. I said that right when the game came out, okay? I said if Avowed had come out 10 years ago, absolutely no one would be panning it. Everyone would say it's like Game of the Year material. But the difference is in the last decade, we have had an overabundance, oversaturation, and giant influx of RPGs. And every RPG is trying to become bigger and better. Bigger world, more content, more gameplay elements, better graphics, ridiculous amount of side quests, ridiculous amount of playtime. And when they all keep trumping each other, right? Boom, boom, boom. Then a game like Avowed comes out, and there's nothing wrong with it. But is it really innovative? No, not really. It just you feel at home. If you've played Elder Scrolls or a modern RPG in the last 10 years, you feel at home playing Avowed. And a lot of people are just like, well, I don't want to feel at home. I want innovation. I want new things. I want groundbreaking. And it doesn't do that, right? But again, 10 years ago, no one would have cared. Everyone would have loved that game. So I think it's just this is what happens over time is something that used to be, hell, 10 years ago, people would have loved Starfield too. Let's be honest, right? But things have changed. You always called it Suikoden? Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Suikoden, Suikoden? I don't know because I've never heard anyone say it. I've played the game a million times, but I've never once heard a person pronounce the name of the game. Nor do I think we'll even hear it in the game because it has no voice acting. So you'll never know how you pronounce it. There you go. Okay. Basically, every time now that I do Q&A, we've got people who come in with these stupid sock accounts and they start asking the most generic questions that have nothing to do with anything. Like, for example, do you like banana bread? Sure. Great question, right? Really added to the conversation. Okay. See, some people are saying it's Suikoden, and some people are saying it's Suikoden. No one can agree on how to pronounce it. Am I gonna be playing the Lunar Collection after Suikoden? I don't know. I've never played Lunar before. I think we had a Lunar game on the Genesis Mini many years ago, and I tried it and it was okay, but we never went back to it. Um, so I'm really have no incentive to really play a Lunar Collection unless people ask me for it, but I've never played them before, so I don't even know if they're very good. Flatman B is down for some Honda gameplay tomorrow. I was thinking maybe go back to Honda. We haven't played with Honda in a while now. And, I think that I was doing pretty good with him, so maybe we'll do some Honda tomorrow. No, I'm not playing Monster Hunter Wilds. No, I'm not going to play Fear and Hunger to mod it to play it. It's just not worth it. Do I remember Croc Legend of the Gobos? I've never played it, but I remember the game. I remember the mascot, the cartoonish looking crocodile. Have I ever seen The Menu, a chef horror movie? Yes, I did see it a while ago. I think when it was like newish, I watched it. Why no Monster Hunter Wilds? Because I played the beta, and once again, for the third straight time, no one really liked it. I tried it. I actually liked the beta. It ran great on my PC. I was having fun with the elements, and a couple things happened. Number one, a lot of people complained, "Oh darn, this is boring. It's going to be repetitive, too grindy." And then someone else who's actually knows about Monster Hunter said, "FYI, it's probably not going to work for your streams." Not to say that the game isn't good, but this game requires a lot of grinding where you have to fight the same bosses over and over, waiting for like a rare drop or a number of resources to drop so that you can then upgrade either your weapon or your armor so you could take on the tougher enemy. um, your audience probably isn't going to want to see that. Everyone wants to see new fights. Like compare it like this. Think of it this way. Let's say I'm playing a new FromSoft game. Okay, Dark Souls 4. Let's say they made Dark Souls 4. And you go to the first boss, and it's tough, but you beat it. Wow, it's awesome. You beat the first boss. You go to the second boss, it's impossible to beat the second boss. Why? You're too weak. So you have to go back and you have to fight the first boss 17 more times. And that's an exaggeration, but I'm just giving you a hypothetical here. In order to fight it enough so you level up enough and get the rare item drop so you can level up your character, but also level up your weapon enough. So now you can take on the second boss. Instead of just go straight to the second boss and fight it, you have to grind to earn your way to beating the second boss. That's the formula of Monster Hunter. Like, that's how they designed it. And if you're doing it with a group of friends and you're hanging out to do those grind fests together, it's kind of fun. But if you're playing it by yourself and you're teaming up with randos, right, it's probably not going to be as fun. So for my style of content, it's probably not going to make sense. All right. I've tried Monster Hunter before. Many years ago, I got one on the 3DS, back when I had a capture device for my 3DS XL. And people were convincing me to play it, saying it was a huge franchise and I should try it. And I started playing it, and at first I liked it, but then it became a grind fest where, man, I need to keep grinding, get this item. And people immediately got bored and tuned off and basically said they weren't going to watch anymore, so I stopped playing it. Then I tried the Monster Hunter World beta, and everyone hated it. Then I tried the Monster Hunter Rise beta, and everyone hated it. Now I tried the Monster Hunter Wilds beta, and I couldn't get attendance, and we didn't hit the goal. We only got like $80 that stream. It's like, if I can't even get interest for the beta, I'm definitely not going to get interest for the full game. So that's why I'm not playing it. Okay? Hope it makes sense. Okay. Ellipsian claims he just beat the entire game, which is crazy because it just came out. And he never grinded. There you go. I won't see it tonight, Jade. I know you don't like Lost Records. It's all good, man. I know you're not into Lost Records. Thankfully, the game is finishing tonight. So there you go. Oh, really? Walrus Nipples tipped me $1.25, says, I actually have a bamboo steamer So I steam the frozen White Castle burgers, and they actually taste great, much better than the microwave. I would believe that. Steamed food is a perfectly valid way to cook food, and it could be a really great way to add flavor. Like my wife and I just had dim sum on our day off this last week, and it was delicious. Steamed dumplings, steamed uh rice buns, yes, and shumai, and those are amazing steam. Like those are super duper good steam. So that's awesome. Thanks for the input. I don't have a steamer. I wouldn't even know how to steam. I'm sure you have to boil water and stuff to do it, right? But that's interesting. So steaming the White Castle burgers makes them good. Fascinating. Okay, continuing on. What do I like to clean? Oh, I like cleaning everything. I'm just a clean freak. I like scrubbing things down constantly. See what I mean about these ridiculously arbitrary questions people ask me now? So it must be a new running thing with my detractors. They make a bunch of sock accounts. They come on my channel, and when it's time for a Q&A, they ask arbitrary questions that no one cares about the answers to. If I was ever in Scotland, would I try deep fried pizza? My wife and I recently, like last month, were watching some random ass TV, and we started watching the show called Carnival Eats, where basically this guy goes to carnivals all over like the USA, Canada, and other places, and he sees the most ridiculous carnival food. They will deep fry anything. Okay, they will. And we saw deep fried pizza. Oh, oh, it looks nasty. You're breading and frying your pizza. Like, what is going on? They'll deep fry anything, but absolutely, deep fried pizza. I think I'll prefer to stay away from that. It's probably not for me, being that I'm Italian and I like the authentic thing. What's up, McCoy? How are you? Jade wants to play Yakuza a little early. We could. If we run out of questions here, we easily could. No, I haven't seen deep fried butter, but I believe it exists. I mean, they deep fry ice cream. So, why not deep fry butter? When was the last time I ate a meal out of a vending machine? Wow. Like, the thing is, I don't really hang out in places that have vending machines. You know what I mean? Like, no lie, probably the last time that I used a vending machine was probably like at a hotel. And I haven't stayed at a hotel in a zillion years. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's been that long. So, yeah, I couldn't even answer that. I don't know. All of Kick says hello to Jade. Everyone is saying hello to Jade this morning. So Jade, just so you know, everyone on Kick likes you. When's the last time I grilled or barbecued? I never owned a grill. Me. The last time I actually grilled was in my early days as a YouTuber slash as a Street Fighter player. I hosted a cookout in the backyard of my parents' house in Connecticut, and I grilled some burgers and hot dogs and things for the guests. So that was the last time I've actually grilled on a grill. Yeah, or barbecue. I've made burgers. I just make them inside. I make them on the stovetop on like a frying pan. Like I made bison burgers for my wife last week, 2 weeks ago, and they were super good. But we do them on a pan. Jade says he wants to say to Kick, yo, what's up? And he's good. So there you go. How many sock accounts do I think there are on Kick? I believe that the vast majority of accounts on my Kick channel are sock accounts. For example, any single name that says real in the name is a sock account. Because what it is I made the account DSPGaming real because someone had stolen DSPGaming before I had a chance to make an account on Kick. So then all my trolls made accounts that ended in real. So every single account that ends in real is a sock account. No lie. Every single one. They're all fake. They're all other people. You know, why would you put real at the end of your name? There's need to. What's my favorite fabric blend for sweaters? I don't know. This one's a nice one. I don't know what this is, though. I have to look it up to see what fabric this is. A nice sweater. Very comfy. You know, designer sweater. It's good stuff. I used to have cashmere sweaters from Uniqlo. Like I bought these Uniqlo sweaters when I lived in Connecticut over a decade ago. The problem was the cashmere sweaters were too warm. They were actually not even thick, but they were super effing warm. So whenever I put it on, I was sweating. Like, damn, I don't live in the mountains, so I didn't really need clothes that were that warm. So I ended up like never wearing them. What's the first thing I notice about someone when I meet them for the first time? Their stench. Because usually, you know, you meet someone and they have like awful body hygiene. You just get a whiff before you even see, before you even look at them. You get a whiff. You're like, oh, yes, that's what it is. Their stench. Oh my God, you guys are something else. Have you ever operated heavy machinery? Yes. In fact, you may not realize this, okay? But the real dark side, Phil, is not what you see here. This is an actual, very complicated, hard to operate animatronic. And the real man behind the curtain actually is standing in a booth on the other side of the room and operating this giant animatronic right now remotely. So technically, every time I have a stream on, you're seeing me operate very technical heavy machinery. I got to be careful because at a moment's notice, I could accidentally malfunction and just like punch through the wall. Got to be careful. The whole house could come down. Excuse me. Aha. Here we go. Okay. That explains why I'm always so stiff. That's correct. I am a Muppet. I'm an animatronic Muppet. Guys, let's go. Let's get some support. We didn't even hit 50 yet. Let's hit 50 and higher. Let's get some support going because we're going to start with Yakuza. And what's going to happen is when we start Yakuza, undoubtedly a big chunk of the crowd's going to leave. Say, oh, I'm not interested in Yakuza, right? And I get that. But let's get some support rolling here. Let's hit some goals. We want to do the pizza party this week, hopefully Wednesday, right? If not sooner. I'd love to do it tomorrow, but then we'd have to hit 4 goals today. And I don't think we're going to hit 4 goals in one day. Have I ever had an In-N-Out burger? Yes. When I went to E3 in 2012 in California, LA, all right? While I was there, I stopped buying In-N-Out because everyone had told me, remember back then I was doing DSP Tries It. Yes, 13 years ago I was doing DSP Tries It. People had said I should try In-N-Out for DSP Tries It. And I explained to everyone, I'm not going to be filming DSP Tries Its when I'm out there, but if I tried food, I would talk about it. So I went to In-N-Out. The place was packed wall to wall with people. I had to wait in line 30 plus minutes to order. And I think we ordered a burger. One was like animal style and one was like something else. Okay. And so the burgers come and we didn't even want to eat. There's so many people in the building. We said, let's go back to the hotel room. Right. So we went back to the hotel room. We unpack, we eat, and we're like, this isn't bad. Like it wasn't bad food. But no exaggeration, we had food of that level or even a little higher than that back where we came from. Like there was a place called Duchess where I live, and they made burgers of that caliber, if not even a little better, and they were a block away from me. So why was I caring about In-N-Out in LA, California, when I had that level of food a block away from me? You know, so we were not impressed at all. In fact, we were actually disappointed because we had heard so much about how good In-N-Out was. Then we try it and we're like, not anything special. Do I think E3 should come back? I don't think it should come back in the way that it existed. If E3 came back and it was fully 100% a for press and for creator event, meaning people who actually cover and review games are the only ones allowed in. So the building isn't packed wall to wall with fucking nerds and fanboys who think that they're going on this is my vacation. I'm going to E3. So that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be an event for serious media and people who cover games and stuff. And E3 lost its way over the years. That's why all the major companies stopped going. No Nintendo, no Sony. So what's the point of going? Right? If they go back to their roots and they regain that momentum, then E3 could have value again. But it remains to be seen. E3 is gone. They're actually making this new event, not this year, but supposedly next year, that they're claiming is going to go back to its roots, and it might actually be not even media, but just developers. It may be more of a developers conference kind of a deal. So we'll have to see. But the problem with E3 is it lost its way. And then when COVID hit and there was no E3, people realized we don't need it. Everyone's doing digital events anyway. We never needed E3. It's outdated. So there you go. Guys, no support. Come on. Right now, let's get 1 sub on Kick, 1 tip, 1 super chat, and 1 membership. Let's get 1 of each right now. And then we can move on. Maybe we'll jump into Yakuza early, get some extra progress today. But let's get some support now. Right now. And now. How am I liking the new pillow? It's great. That pillow I bought, several weeks ago for my neck injury, has helped tremendously. I fully believe that if I didn't have that pillow, my neck would still be messed up. But because it keeps me, in a stationary position while I'm sleeping rather than moving all around in my sleep like I used to, I think my neck is relaxing and healing and allowing me to recover faster. So it's working very well. Where do I buy my popcorn? What a ridiculous question. Where do you think you buy your popcorn? At the popcorn store, stupid. Duh. Jade really wants Yakuza early. So, unless anyone has some more interesting questions, I think we may actually just have a very short podcast today of about an hour. And I'm okay with that. And especially because we're not getting any contributions. I mean, come on. Come on. No, I will not play Valkyrie Profile. What is my favorite kind of popcorn? Come on. Everyone knows it. What's my favorite kind of popcorn? The tastiest one. The tastiest popcorn is my favorite. I don't like the dry one. All right. I don't like the one that's bland. I like the tasty one. Okay. John Philip Stamos has gifted a sub on Kick. But the funny part is, it didn't pop up. There it is. It was late. It's so weird that it pops up late on the Kick chat. I actually get it in my queue first. Thank you to John Philip Stamos for a gifted sub on Kick. That gets us up to 49 in support. So we are now a third of the way to the goal. Guys, today, let's not only hit the goal, let's crush the goal. Let's double the goal. Let's get 2 for 1 on this stream. Let's get to 38. Then we only need 2 more. And then if we can even do the pizza party tomorrow. I would like nothing better than tomorrow to play Call of Duty, to get the nunchucks, and to order delicious pizza and have a pizza party with you all. But we got to hit these goals. Let's do it. Let's do it. Where's the motivation? Here's the motivation. Don't you want to see greasy pizza shoving into this fucking mouth? Don't you want to see a 3-camera setup where I lift the pizza up to the camera and you see all the glistening meats and toppings and the grease is coming off the top, and then I take it to my face and I go like this. I go, look at this. Don't you want to see that on stream? Why not? If not, you're weird. You want to see me stuff my face with disgusting pizza, so get to it. Support this stream right now. Let's get some subs. Let's get some memberships. Let's get some super chats. Let's get a goddamn $100 tip and hit that goal right now. I was channeling PPP there for a little bit. I wanted to see how it would go. Did it work? Did it work? Let's see. I got the tip came in. I received a $3 tip. From Flatman B, could hitting a goal mean that we don't finish lost records? Oh, I'm just kidding. What? No, we're gonna. What do you mean? Don't you, dude? Trust me. When you get a game like that, you just want to finish it. You want it to be over, right? So we're not gonna not finish it. Come on, we gotta finish it. All right, with that, we have actually officially gone past a third of our goal. Dabhan says PPP is a better sub. All right, you know what? That's it. Now you've insulted me because you're going to tell me you think PPP is a better grifter than me. Let me tell you something, Dab Hands. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reach inside your sweatpants. I want you to pull out your wallet. I want you to unlatch the Velcro. I want you to pull out every card in your wallet right now. And I want you to start charging it up and charge those subs and charge those memberships and charge those tips. Get the goddamn card out and swipe that. Well, actually, you don't swipe it online, do you? Just put the numbers in. For God's sakes. Do I need to do it for you? Holy crap, what's going on? A bunch of people just started gifting subs. So first of all, we have Perry the White gifted 5 subs on Kick. Thank you, Perry, for 5 subs. That gets him up to 11 this morning. So that's good for 25. So now we're up to 77 in support. And then Jay Strip just gifted 5 subs. That's another 25. So now we're up to 102 in support. Just like that. Ask and you shall receive. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. But when you ask, the Lord provided. Much like how the great Moses raised his arms, raised his staff, and parted the Red Sea to clear the way. You must raise your arm and open the wallet to create the path, the financial path to a delicious pizza party. Clear the way to the pizza. The goddamn Red Sea's in the way. It's too freaking salty. It's going to spoil the cheese. All right? Get the Red Sea out of the way. Let's get to the pizza. See, I can do it too. I just can't do it with a straight face. That's my problem. I can't maintain my composure. Don't you remember when Moses reached up to the sky and said, "Let it rain subs" on top of the Israelites? See, I can't do it. I can't maintain a straight face and do it. That's my problem. I can't do it. Well, John Philip Stamos, all right, says, now, is YouTube going to contribute? Because we just had all this contributions on the Kick side, and he's got a point. He absolutely has a point here. We just had a tremendous amount of support from Kick. Are we going to have anyone watching on YouTube reciprocate? Will we get some memberships, a big super chat, or a tip, right? Will we get that from the YouTube viewers? Because we're 2/3 of the way to the goal already. We can hit the goal right now, and then we could be working on a second goal while we play Yakuza, and we could be so close to the pizza party, right? So let's do it. By the way, I absolutely love these Kick animations, right? I like that it shows who gifted and who it went to. It doesn't work on the YouTube side. When you gift on YouTube, it just shows, oh, someone got a membership, but it doesn't show you who gifted because it's all, the YouTube thing's all screwed up. That's why. But I like how it works properly here. Excuse me. SM double XV says, are you putting on a character or is this a gimmick? If so, your detractors are idiots for saying you beg if they don't see the character you're putting on. Do you not understand that? Listen, okay, here's the deal. Let's be real here, all right? Obviously, you know me. You've seen me in those last 8+ months. Actually, at this point, it's been so August, September, October, November, December, January, February, 7 months. Now we're going on month 8, where things have changed for me. Okay, can we be honest? I'm getting way more positivity thrown my way, except for my detractors, okay? People are enjoying my content and supporting it more. Why? Because they liked the stuff I did with Kino Casino last summer, and they supported that, and I took all that support I got, and I completely revamped everything I do from the ground up, right? Right? Look at my setup. Look at the quality of everything I'm doing. Look at the effort that I'm still putting in. I could have just stopped putting in effort months ago. but I'm still putting in effort to improve my content constantly for you, to try to do new kinds of content, different things, fun stuff, to make it interesting. I don't want it to be boring around here anymore. I was boring for 10 years, right? I don't want to be boring anymore. I want to be fun. I want to do different things. And I think what's happened is people are now seeing that, okay? And they want to support it now. They get it. And they're like, okay, I see the effort. Phil has changed. We want him to stay on that path. So let's support that, right? Does anyone think I'm destitute? Do any of you out there feel that I'm like broke as I'm sitting here in a relatively brand new sweater, you know, in a setup that's pretty much completely new? Everything you see here is brand new in the last 6 to 8 months. You know, my quality is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, with all this stuff, do you see anything here that says, wow, Phil is living in a cardboard box and he's going to go broke if you don't contribute? The difference is now people support me because they like what I'm doing and they want to see me continue to succeed and improve because I've proven that I can do that, as opposed to previously, I was on here telling you a sob story. Oh my God, I'm in bankruptcy. I can't pay my mortgage. I can't do this. And that's not the case anymore. Get it? It's not. It's better now. All right, we're in a better situation. So people like to see the success and they want to see more success. They like me, they like my content, they like what I stand for, and they want to see that continue. So when I'm on here and I'm like, let's hit the goal, let's do a marathon, let's do a reward, let's do DSP tries it. Yes, that's motivational. And sometimes people need that. Like they say, literally the adage, ask and you shall receive, works. Because some people may be sitting here watching and enjoying and then not even think about contributing because they think that everything looks good, right? But you have to understand that it's through that reciprocation of me making the free content that you enjoy and you supporting it that it's all possible. If it all dried up and there was no support, I wouldn't be able to keep making the content. So it goes hand in hand, right? And so I'm very appreciative of those who do support. But when I'm sitting here and I'm like, Moses parted the Red Sea and you need to get the salty water off the pizza. Do you think that's serious? Does it sound serious? But the problem is my detractors are so stunted that either they think it's serious because they're dumb, or they're people who are disingenuous. They know it's not serious, but they'll say it is because they want to fool the dumb people into thinking I'm a bad person so they can make content and profit off of it. Because again, as I said many, many times, these idiots would not be making the content they do if they didn't profit off of it. Notice they're all monetized now. There used to actually be a time when the content was demonetized. And people like the Sons of Kojima were very morally against monetization of this kind of content because they were standing for, we want Phil to be a better person and a better creator, rather than, oh, we just want to profit off of making fun of Phil. Well, that's not the case anymore. Things have very, very much changed. Now it's all about the money. How do I make a buck? How do I run? You know what I'm saying? So it's really ridiculous. But I mean, obviously, this is not, no, I'm not destitute. I don't actually need you guys to buy me pizza. Do you understand? It's that's not what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's not what we're doing here. That's not the point. But again, you have to be intelligent to understand that. You have to understand some hype and, understand how it works. Again, anyone who has watched Kino Casino for more than 10 minutes and then comes to my content and has the balls to say that I ask too hard, I beg too much, and I do all that, you're out of your fucking mind. Those guys are the consummate professional pros at asking for contributions in a way that hypes their crowd up and then they receive them. But they joke constantly. Look how PPP talks on Smart Guys. Do you think that he's super serious about any of that shit that he's saying? Of course not. But he says it and he gets people excited and people laugh and then they contribute. That's what you got to do. It's called about positive motivation versus negative begging. If I say, I'm going to give you something positive if you contribute, like I'm going to do a special event, I'm going to do a DSP tries it that you control, we're going to do a marathon that you guys give me input on, right? I'm going to get something new. I'm going to do Lego nights. I'm going to buy better Legos, right? Do you see? That's positive motivation. Versus if I'm sitting here all day saying, oh, woe is me, things are bad for me, support me because things are awful. I do now that I'm out of that situation and I'm not doing that anymore because I don't have to. I see how pathetic that is, how bad that is, how disingenuous that can be. Okay? But I was in a bad situation many years ago and that's why I had to act like that. Now I don't have to do that anymore, nor do I ever want to return to doing that. So, you see, that's the difference. So, here's the deal. If you get the shtick, you come, you enjoy the content, and you support it. And that's why I'm successful, because there are enough people out there who are intelligent and get the shtick and like the content. Sadly, there's a bunch of morons who don't know anything because they're dumb as dirt. Like literally, they're not as smart as the rock rolling down the hill. They're that stupid. So they believe everything. They're gullible morons and they get fooled by these idiots who make negative content. They don't look into anything. They don't research anything. They just believe everything they're told. And they're marks, meaning they're easy marks. They're dumb enough that they will throw money at idiots because they think that they're doing something good and they're exposing something. You're exposing nothing. There's nothing to expose. But they don't get that because they're that dumb. They actually feel like they're part of a good movement. They're just a bunch of morons. Okay, so some more support here. Darkside Dabbing gifted a sub to J Strip. Thank you, Darkside Dabbing. I appreciate that. Now we're up to 107. And I received a $5 tip from Mulciber. I opened YouTube this morning. I'm greeted with 10 videos from idiots. They want DSP to take responsibility for things that he hasn't done. Go insult him. Go attack him. All the things they spread about you, the weirdest one I've heard about you is you stole a man's chair. Oh, I did. I burst into someone's house and I stole his chair right out from under him as he was sitting there. And he busted his ass. It was very embarrassing. But it's something I pride myself on. They called it the swipe of the century. How I scooped up the chair from under the man and he crashed and landed on his rotund ass. I have no idea what you're talking about. But thank you, Mulciber, for a $5 tip. There you go. That's great. Oh. See, here's the thing. Someone said, what about your setup? Are you going to improve stuff again? I don't know. Because the thing is, every single time I think that my setup is done, another idea comes up. Someone says, hey, what about this? You could do this. Or we talk about a project and we pop up an idea for a show or a thing I can do. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that could work. That could work, right? Did I ever think I was going to get a green slipcover for my chair? No. But I got it. And now my chair doesn't have the issue with the background removal tool anymore. Right? Like I feel like in the business I'm in, I feel like consistent improvement is always required to avoid stagnation and to make sure that you're always keeping something fresh for the audience. As opposed to me sitting here like a lump, which I did for a long time, not trying, not innovating, not doing anything new, not listening to feedback, not interacting, but instead saying, I have to make content. Boot game, grab controller, press record. Ha ha ha. Look at that asshole. Look at the size of her boobies. Look at this guy. He's taking a shit. Oh, chop off his head. Get his dick. Shove it up his asshole. Oh, I finished my video. Done. Upload. Okay, see you tomorrow. See the difference? That was my old style to a T. That was my old content every day. Just regurgitation of the same shit. And now every day when I come to work, I don't even know what I'm going to do half the time, right? I don't know. I don't know how a Lego stream is going to work. I didn't know what indie game I was going to play on stream last night. I have absolutely no clue what kind of unbridled, uncontrollable nonsense will happen on Smart Guys this coming Thursday night. But it's all good, right? No, sadly, there are no free subs to give out on Kick. Kick does not give free subs. Like, I get 10 free memberships to give out on my YouTube channels every month, but Kick gives 0. So I can't give anything free out to anyone. I would if I had them, but okay. By the same logic, why do I have to repeat my schedule? Because my schedule constantly changes. If you haven't noticed, in the last week, my schedule has changed 4 times because there's things fluctuating, things are moving around. And if people don't know what I'm doing at any given time, they might miss out on what they're doing. The thing is, I'm a variety creator. If I was the kind of guy who, like, every time I streamed, I'm doing the same shit, then you wouldn't need a schedule at all. But since I'm doing something different every stream, it's important to have a schedule that's laid out, that's organized, that's consistent, so you know what's going on. So I pride myself on that, on having, here's my set schedule, here's when I'm streaming, here's what I'm doing each stream, so people can appropriately plan to be there. You also got to understand the vast majority of my income comes from my live audience. So it's important that I have the live audience in the right place at the right time, or else I might miss out on support that day because I did something willy-nilly and people didn't like it. You see the difference? I hope that makes sense. Okay. So last chance, guys, if you would like to support or say anything, we're almost to the goal. Guys, can we just, seriously, let's hit the goal right now. As we finish this podcast, let's hit the goal. So then as I'm playing Yakuza for the next 2.5, 3 hours, we can just focus on the game and see if we can hit another goal during it. But let's just do it now. Get it done, locked in, 37. Then we've only got 3 to go for the pizza party. Who's going to do it? Let's get a super chat or let's get a tip. You know, Kick has been crazy this morning with the subs. It would be great if we could get something from the YouTube side that would kick that over and get us to the goal. If bears have bear claws and otters have otter pops, what does the sheep get? Lamb chops. Hasha! Hoi! Lamb chops. Yes, I like fish and I like ceviche. Only 3 subs for the goal. Where are we at? Where are we at right now? I don't know where we are. Hold on. We're at 113. So we need 37 more to go to hit the goal and add to the counter, which would be 7 subs. No, 8 subs. It would be 8 subs to hit the goal. 8 subs, 13 memberships, or a $37 super chat or a $37 tip. That would get us to the 150. Was I a visual learner as a kid? I was always someone who can learn better through doing than through like memorizing or being told. So show me an example, but then have me do it myself and walk me through it so I can understand how to do it through application. A lot of people are good at memorizing, but then when they try to actually apply it, you've realized they didn't learn anything, right? They didn't learn a damn thing at all. They just memorized and copy pasted, but then they can't apply it in real life. I think that learning is actually through application of what you've learned and repetition and feeling ease of use of the knowledge that you've gained. So now you can use it in a common situation for yourself. All right. Well, guys, I think we're just going to end the podcast. It looks like we're not going to hit the goal before we end it. But thank you all for a chill show. So tomorrow should be interesting because tomorrow we're finally going to get to talk about if anything ever happened in Lost Records. Dude, can you imagine? Can you seriously imagine if we finish Lost Records tonight and there's still nothing? Like, it's still nothing good at all. It's boring as shit. I hope not. I hope there's something of substance tonight. All right, anyway. So everyone, thank you so much for a great show. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you'll come back tomorrow for another show where we'll recap everything that we end up doing today. Hopefully we'll hit some goals. We'll be able to celebrate and we'll have a good time. All right, guys, we'll do it all again tomorrow. So thank you so much. Have a good one. See you on Tuesday.